need some competition out here. Come on.
Our people.
If you're interested in promoting your brand, business, or talent on the first 15 to 30 seconds before each video, email me right now at advertise@hiphopun.com. That's advertise@hiphopun.com. We got some special rates right now. Do not
As surprising as this is, man, we have talked about, it's a lot of layers, and we talked about this, probably 5 or 6 other times since we've been doing a podcast. One was ARAB, YFN Lucci. They were trying to hit Pooh Shiesty, with it, Fetty Wap. Those are just some off the names off the top of my head that got hit with the RICO. The YFN Lucci, let's talk about how that whole thing ties in, because I never knew they was beefing. Did you?
Nope.
I don't follow that deep into it, but they pretty much, saying, and remember a couple months ago, YFN made a video saying, look, he fears for his life. They said they tried to stab him or something, punch him up on the phone. And now they're saying that Young Thug may have been behind that. Like he put a hit on YFN Lucci. How do you feel about that aspect of it?
See, like you said, we ain't really deep into it like that. Is YFN Lucci Atlanta as well?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm guessing
they're in the same jail now too.
Wow, these YFNs and these YSLs, these prosecutors and these DAs are attributing to gang related, organizations, and this is why they hitting with the RICO. And then it like you said, who knew that they were even beefing? I mean, we don't know up in Jersey, and like we don't follow it that crazy. Right. Maybe in Atlanta, it's a lot more heavy.
Right.
But then to know that you putting out professional hits and shit, or it's alleged, that goes deep. This don't look good. I don't give a fuck what that lawyer's saying. I hope that he's right. If dude is innocent, in fact. But like you said, and like we've talked about, years and years and years of him doing various things and them just writing it down. The shooting with Lil Wayne on the bus, writing it down. Yeah. The drugs, writing it down, little things, writing it down. And now it culminates to all of this. And for him to still be that heavy in the streets where you like, nah, this dude got to die, allegedly, if you did that, man.
It's a lot, like you said, it's a lot of layers to it. But one thing you got to understand, that if they're saying something, they're going to have corresponding evidence. Like if they're saying you did this, they're going to have a lot of stuff. Like your feds ain't coming with no flimsy case. They're just like, so if they saying he did something in 2015, I'm pretty sure they got everything that corresponds to that, right? And this is just off experience, not experience personally, but kind of just reading things and covering different stories that we did. They're thorough. And we actually did sit in ARF's trial for a few days too. They're very thorough. They're very thorough a lot of the times when they bring these type of cases. Hence the conviction rate. It's not going to look good. It doesn't look good for him. Gunner is a little bit better situation than that. He's pretty much facing life in prison at this point, meaning Young Thug. Now, what do you think about the social media aspect? Because I think the district attorney down there in Georgia did a press conference not too long ago, and she talked about the aspect of social media. One of the reporters asked her, and she said that social media is instrumental in their investigation, meaning that they are using social media to take down these people. What's your thoughts on the social media aspect?
YouTube videos, social media posts, music videos,
right?
Interviews, all things in social media that they can use against you and that they are using against you. Oh, we watched a couple of days of ARAB's trial, and we seen a very solid defense. They're chewing them up and spitting them out from the defense side, and none of that mattered. We see the game that they play, and we also see the game isn't fair, and they will use anything you say, whether it's real or not, against you, because they're going to deem it real. When you got this lined up with that, and everything kind of lines up and dots start connecting, and they can find pieces of your music to even further strengthen their cause, because we know the percentile in which they get their conviction rate, and they don't like coming off that shit. They like to win these cases, so if they can use it, they are. It was interesting because I brought up the fact that Jay-Z, I think Yo Gotti, maybe some other people were trying to get that out of court cases, stop using lyrics. Maybe they knew something before we knew, because I don't know, man.
I don't think it's gonna ever work.
Either.
Like the lady was saying, in a press conference, like, you got your freedom of speech, and by the way, they said they're going to use Young Thug songs as well against him.
That's what I'm saying.
And it's like, you kind of can't take that off the table when you're looking at it from the other side, because it's like, What if it does correlate to something that really happened? Like, you know what I mean? So it's like you could say that all you want about all that, lyrics not being used and it's entertainment, but not when it has to do with a crime and somebody losing their life. Like they're gonna do anything that they can do, and no judge, nobody's gonna ever sign off on that being taken out, in my opinion, because it could be too vital in a case, man. And that's one thing we gotta understand. You got people saying free these dudes, and I don't know if they're innocent or guilty, but the other side of this thing is lives was lost, man. And I know that when you put yourself in that whole thing, but you got to put yourself in the shoes of everybody. Okay, the young thug, he's cool. The Gunner, they cool. They entertain me. But what about the family that lost the individual? You know what I mean? You got to think from all sides. That's what we try to do here. Give you guys all sides, of the spectrum. Not looking good, man. I don't see him getting out of this. I hate to be a doom and gloom type of guy. I'm really optimistic guy, but
we know the situation he in though.
Yeah,
it's real. Let me ask you this, because academics put this out about an hour ago. He said the DA who indicted YSL on RICO charges is the same DA that indicted YFN on RICO charges. According to her, RICO is a tool she likes to use to get gangs off the street, and promised there will be more indictments to come on other gangs in Atlanta.
Yeah. That's what they're looking for.
Yep.
The feds, they're looking for, organized activity. And when you talk about a gang, man, it's just an organized group of people doing things.
Yep.
Let's not make it into something, bigger than what it really is.
Al
That's
Capone shit.
Right. That's what the RICO comes from. If it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 of us, conspiring to do things that's illegal, that's where the RICO comes in. You know what I mean? You're doing illegal things in a group. They look at that as an organization. You got a leader. You got capos, you got testers, you got all these different people, shooters, watchers, all these different things of an organization. That's how they treat it. Now, the smart, wise man is going to look at it and say, okay, I'm going to stay away from this type of shit. Now, I understand the aspect of people getting tied up, and that's the environment, but these dudes is multimillionaires.
Now, they've
been multimillionaires for at least 5, maybe 10, some of them years.
Yep.
So, I don't know, man. Again, I'm not here to say if anybody's guilty, or innocent, but I haven't seen anybody beat a RICO charge. None of these rappers yet. Have you?
Nope. And I don't think it's set up for them to beat it.
Set up for them to play out.
Exactly. And them lawyers know it, and everybody else know it, and it's a dirty game. And why the fuck are you still in this shit when you sitting on millions of dollars in your life and your family has changed? I think that the whole reason that you got into it to get the fuck up out of that shit, and you still up in there calling shots allegedly.
Right.
It's crazy. Man.
Do you see anybody snitching?
Yes.
A lot of people going to snitch. I ain't going to say that Young Thug is going to rap.
I don't know who's going to rap, but there's going to be a lot of people rapping.
Yeah, priority is.
No doubt about it.
When somebody's throwing you 50, 60 years, and they saying they talk about your kids and say, how old is your kid? 10. Well, you won't see her till she's 50. Like when you start hearing shit like that and, you in a cell and it's cold and your parents ain't there, nobody's there, whatever, or your girlfriend, whatever the case may be, it gets cold and it gets lonely fast, and you start thinking about your life in those situations. Not condoning it,
nope.
But this is what you signed up for, though. You signed up for this knowing that this is the possibility of this happening.
You also signed up knowing it's rats out here that will tell. And rats are built in all shapes, sizes, and colors. And not think just because they out here claiming they thorough on this camera that shit won't get hot in that goddamn room. And like you said, they start really thinking and evaluating things, and they turn. And don't do it if you can't do it.
Well, I wonder why academics in his post were saying it was the same people that, obviously it's in the same state. I don't know what his point was
and all
saying
that shit. Yeah. Probably within blocks and radius. Who knows? But
right. It all kind of probably ties in too. Okay, this group's beefing with this group. Okay, this group is doing this. Like I said earlier, this is what we're going to end with, right? If you really living that life and you're a rapper, they're going to find out. The feds are going to find out if you're really about that shit. So you can say, we did this entertainment, this, that, and the thing. But they're using social media. Yep. They're using your lyrics. They're using anything they can to find out if you're really about that life. And if it's serious enough, you're getting that RICO hit on you, man. And it's sad. It's sad.
Eventually it's coming. They off to your ass.
Yep.